Hello everyone, I'm Isaac and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be covering something that recently got my blood boiling, and that is Matt Powell. Now, who is Matt Powell? Well, he's an evangelical Christian who does apologetics for We Have Truth Ministries and has done a lot of public debates with atheists. Now, Matt Powell wasn't someone I was interested in covering on this channel just because I'm not all that interested in talking about atheist topics. However, another YouTuber by the name of Cirrus recently made a video about him, and what Matt Powell has to say about the LGBT community had my blood boiling, and I felt that I needed to respond to it, and you'll see why in just a moment. But first, I want to address the title of this video. Now, although the first part of this video is directed towards my general audience, the second part of the video is directed specifically to atheist YouTubers and debate channels that hosted or will host live debates with Matt Powell, and my problem with this. But before I address either of those, let's take a look at what Matt Powell has to say.
Tyler Durden says, debate question for Matt. Do you value the U.S. Constitution? And if so, how do you justify your position that the government should execute homosexuals?
That's right, you heard correctly. Matt Powell believes that gay people should be executed, but his justification for which is probably worse.
And if you don't believe it, then why not?
Yeah. So, first and foremost, the only way that somebody could become a homo, the Bible says, is the person has to first hate God. They have to just hate God. And the Bible says that the Spirit of God is wooing every man. And when somebody gets to that point where they're rejecting God, God finally takes that limiter off of them and turns them over to a reprobate mind. And so that's the reason why I believe that homosexuals are dangerous and that many of them are child molesters, because on a common sense level, a man that would have sex with another man would have sex with anything. And so of course I believe the US Constitution applies. In fact, in the 1800s, it was perfectly legal if your wife was sleeping with another man to go in and just take the life of both of them. I don't advocate for that. I think that's wicked and sinful. I believe it's the government's job to execute criminals. But with regards to the homosexual community, you better believe that I have a severe problem with them. And we will never back down to the LGBTQ or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that's what I believe. And I believe that it's totally constitutional.
Even if everything you've said is true, which it isn't, the United States Constitution has something called freedom of religion, which means that someone hating your God is in no way grounds for execution. Second, hating God isn't what makes people gay. There's not only a plethora of scientific data that shows gay people are in fact born that way, but many times people will be raised in the church and be devoted to God their whole lives, only to discover that they're gay and have to try to figure out what to do about it. Take the stories of Justin Lee, Matthew Vines, and even my own story. Hell, there are entire ministries that exist to turn gay people straight, which doesn't work, by the way. Most of which were, again, already part of the church and devoted to your God. Furthermore, gay people are no more likely to be child predators than straight people, as 90% of all child predators are heterosexual. So no, this is not common sense. It is nothing but a tangled mess of homophobic lies. Now I hope that I have demonstrated at this point that all of Matt's rhetorical bullshit that he spewed from a secondary asshole is completely false. However, that is not the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is the fact that he was given a platform on an atheist channel. This is someone who has said that gay people should be executed. People like me should be executed simply because of who they are. And I find that the horseshit Matt Powell calls truth is especially insulting to me because at one point I actually came close to killing myself. It was a little over a year ago, and at the time I was in a very bad place. I didn't know if it was okay to be gay because I was raised religiously and I had no one to turn to. Eventually I got to the point where existing seemed not to be worth it anymore, so I began to write the note and try to address everyone in my life that was important to me. And eventually there is just too many names. So I destroyed the note and continued to just endure it, and eventually I was able to fully accept my sexuality, and since then I haven't felt the urge to kill myself. And what this human douchebag Matt Powell is essentially saying to me, and to everyone else who has ever been through what I've been through, is that I should have killed myself. You should have just done it, because you'd be doing the world a favor. And he's essentially saying to every friend and family member of every gay person that has ever committed suicide, good riddance. The world is better off without them. Now at this point you've probably noticed the plethora of insults I've used, as well as the complete lack of civility, which is something that I don't usually do on this channel. But this is because someone who espouses views like that, who says that some of the most vulnerable people in society that are already killing themselves because of how bad they're being treated should be put to death, don't deserve civility or polite conversations. They deserve scorn and righteous anger. And that's not just because their views are absolutely morally repulsive and are contributing to the deaths of LGBT people, but because treating someone like that with civility gives them an air of legitimacy. So when you host a debate with Matt Powell, you were essentially saying that he might have a point, when all he has are lies and a primitive fear and repulsion of people who are different. And I do understand that by no means that was your intent. I understand that the intent was to get him on your channel to hopefully change his mind, or at least get some of his viewers to do so. That doesn't change the fact that you're giving him some legitimacy, even if that was not your intent and you disagree with him on everything. You're still giving him enough legitimacy to at least consider his ideas, when these ideas should be dismissed outright. So on behalf of all gay people who are driven to the brink of suicide and every gay person who didn't make it through that, I'm asking you to stop platforming Matt Powell, because it's doing a lot more harm than good. If you want to debate creationists, there are plenty of other creationists out there that don't have such morally repugnant views. And to all the people watching this video who knows any atheist YouTubers, please share it with them, because I think the atheist YouTuber community needs to hear this. I don't really think any of them will hear it, just because my channel is so small, but I feel this needed to be said nonetheless. In any case, if you enjoyed this video or want to help spread this message, please share this video, give it a like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next time.